And this is the criminal misdemeanor warrant application hearings. This is a special type of hearing. I want to let everybody know that this is not common in all states. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for a private citizen to be able to get another individual arrested for a misdemeanor a crime. This is not applicable to felonies. This is not applicable to people who are actually working as state employees during the commission of the crime. All right. But this is an opportunity for individuals to essentially present evidence to me, the judge, the temporary fact finder, for the purposes of determining probable cause to determine whether or not an arrest warrant should be issued. So as I said before, these type of hearings are not applicable to all states. Not all state individuals or persons in other states can bring a personal criminal warrant application against someone and have somebody arrested. Normally, an officer of the court would have to do that. But again, these are limited to misdemeanors. If you are seeking a felony, I'm not going to be able to hear the matter. For instance, if you're alleging that the crime is for theft and it's over the misdemeanor amount, then you're in the wrong place. If you're alleging that this is a crime that may be involving some type of a physical injury to you with maybe a weapon, this may not be the hearing for you. Many of these matters have already had an officer come out, and maybe at the time of that particular incident, there was insufficient information for that officer to determine whether or not there was probable cause for an individual to be arrested. Speaking of probable cause, let me just clarify with you as well. We are not here again on a trial. This is not a matter that has a standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. This is probable cause. We're here just to determine whether or not, based upon the facts, is it reasonable to believe that more likely than not that these set of facts actually occurred. Many of these situations, though, involve a lot of he said, she said. And in those situations, it is very difficult for the court to say whether or not one person is lying or not. And in those situations, without more, they may very well not meet the standard of probable cause. As you guys may have heard, I need everybody to go ahead and turn their cameras on for me because I'm going to let you know how we're going to deal with folks. So what's going to happen is, Mr. Smith, you're the respondent. You're going to end up going second. Mr. Robinson, you'll subsequently go first. What will happen is your witnesses will all be put in a breakout room. They are not going to be subject or to hear any of the evidence that you present, because what we don't want them to do is just tailor their evidence to whatever you say, okay, or whatever was said. So we'll be putting them in a breakout room. I will ask those witnesses as well, please don't watch this on YouTube, because I can tell and know if you've been, okay? So go ahead and keep yourself in the breakout room, do something else. And then during that time, folks, Mr. Robinson and Mr. Smith, I'm going to get you guys under oath. I'm also going to make sure that I have all of the evidence that you've emailed to the court so that we can proceed from there, not have any delays. And then I'm going to give Mr. Robinson about 3 to 5 minutes to give me background regarding the particular allegation of terroristic threats that occurred on September 5th, 2023, around 8:30 p.m. Okay? I don't necessarily want to hear about everything else as far as Mayor, what happened 5 years ago or how you met him and all that stuff. You can tell me. But again, within that 3 to 5 minute period, okay? Because we really want to know the circumstances surrounding the allegations of the terroristic threats. All right, I only see one email from you, gentlemen, and that's from Mr. Robinson, but nothing is attached. I want to give you guys an opportunity right now before I get you guys moving forward.
You say you only see something from who?
I only see something from Mr. Robinson, and there are no attachments, Mr. Robinson, okay? And then Mr. Smith, I don't see any email from you at all. So let me just confirm. What evidence did you email?
I actually emailed a confession saying why this was actually being processed and why this information actually record as far as and why the warrant was taken out. I have a confession saying that the witnesses are going to lie.
Oh,
I do have that.
If it's just a writing.
No, it's not a writing. It's a recording.
Of yourself?
No, of him, sir.
Of Mr. Robinson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it a voice recording or a video?
Yes, sir. It's a voice recording.
He's right here. So, we can use that obviously, but did he know he was being recorded?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's see what the evidence comes out, because if he doesn't know that he's being recorded, we'll have to see. That might be some impeachment evidence, maybe.
It is.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hold on, Mr. Robinson. I can handle my own hearing. I don't need you to chime in like this is background singing. All right. So, Mr. Robinson, tell me, the evidence that you are going to be sending, what is it?
It was a statement of it should have been a statement of one of the witnesses that was actually on the premises of the event.
Okay. But they're not, but is that witness here?
Yes, sir. They're here.
Oh, well, then we don't need a statement. They can give their own testimony. So it
Absolutely.
doesn't seem like the things that you emailed are going to impede what we need to do.
No, it just being that I was the one that initiated the warrant, I was giving instruction to, I guess, do so. So
No, it's fine. We got witnesses here, so we're good money. So, Mr. Smith, I'm going to ask that you place yourself on mute for the time being. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So there'll be no unnecessary interruption, because I know folks, when people say things that they don't like, they tend to be like, oh, no, that's a lie. We don't want to hear that. I want to hear whatever people have to say clearly. So, Mr. Robinson, I want you to give me some background. It is 6:48. I'm going to give you till about, let's see, I would say 6:53, 6:54 regarding the allegation of terroristic threats that occurred on September 5th, 2023. And there's a, yeah. So, and I will say that on the complaint, it says August 5th, 2023. And so please, if there's anything different, clarify in your opening. You can start now.
I believe that is the correct date, August 5th. It basically was a routine night. My daughter, she does competition cheer, and that usually takes place every Tuesday and Thursday. So this particular evening, a regular routine evening, being judged that I'm not able to see my children on a regular routine, I make it my business to show up to my daughter's practice. I'm a cheer dad. I'm the one who put my daughter into cheerleading. So, I have every right to be there. And being that I'm not able to see them consistently, I go out of my way, being that I'm a coach as well, to make it my business to see my daughter and bring her a Gatorade every time I come, right? So this particular evening, I did the same thing. I believe I left and then came back. Well, instead of going inside the gymnasium, because that's where all the events took place, because the parents can't go in. So you have parents, children, whomever may be outside on the premises waiting until the cheerleading practice is over. So as I come back, I see another cheer dad, right? So I speak with him. I have candid conversation. And I realized that the mother of my children is at the practice as well. Well, how I actually came about meeting Mr. Smith wasn't by a regular introduction. It wasn't a, hey, this is he, this is who around your children. This is my boyfriend. It wasn't no introduction of that. Better yet, instead of her referencing to my children that he is a boyfriend, they call him Uncle Jay, right? Very weird. I'll get to that in a minute. So that's how I met him. I met him with the mother of my children, bringing this non-existent individual to my daughter's practice. She was doing this overall. I mean, she had been doing this ongoing. So I said all that to say this particular evening, he was at, the event as well. I seen the mother of my children. The reason I even went to her, my daughter, she does, she was trying to do band at the school. And so the teacher had told me through Class Dojo, I sent home a piece of information for you to sign and for me to go get, the instrument for her to go to school. Well, Judge, I'm not able to see my baby on a regular day or a regular basis after school and communicate to get that form and purchase it. I said I needed to speak to Mom. Perfect. Now, I walked over to the car. Now, at this point, I'm still talking to the cheer dad, but I simply walk over to the mother of my children's car, and Judge, it's so weird. I couldn't even knock on the window. I was about to literally knock on the window. That's it. To reverence what I needed to speak about. I didn't get a chance to do that. At that point, Mr. Smith took it upon himself and jumped out of the car. He jumped out, ran around the front of the hood, and immediately started trying to attack me, trying to fight me. Literally just trying to fight me. And so, hey, it's chess over checkers. I have to realize where I'm at. I'm at my daughter's practice. I'm around all these children. And again, there's no reason for you to feel any type of way to want to try to fight me. You making terroristic threats. You'll kill me. I'll burn you. Basically saying you will shoot me. And at this point, you're saying this around. My son is outside. You have my other cousins outside. And so while all this takes place, now you have the other cheer dad that comes around, right? He comes in defense to try to see what's going on, because guess what? His son is outside. So he's like, whoa, what's going on? Literally trying to see what because he know I'm going to speak to the mother of my children. So it's not an issue. But he only comes over because Mr. Smith is belligerent. He couldn't contain himself. He had to get out the car, and all of a sudden he had to prove to the mother of my children that, hey, I got your back. And so I understand you stating that you don't want to hear about the past. I get that. I'm not going to revert to the past, but I will state this isn't the first time that he's made these statements. I actually have a statement where he apologized. He apologized to me and said, you know what? I'm sorry for almost wanting to take my frustration out on you, because he realized the trajectory of my relationship with the mother of my children and his relationship, right? He just got out of prison last year. Let me first state that. He's a felon. And he did a whole 10-year bid. And so now, again, I don't know this information until I did my research. And he went to prison for robbery, right? So,
Mr. Robinson?
Yes, sir.
654. And
okay.
I just want to clarify, I appreciate the information that you provided.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay focused on why we're here.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Smith, you can go ahead and mute yourself. I want to let Mr. Smith go ahead and give his information. So, Mr. Smith, is 6:55. I'm going to give you to about 7:01 to tell me a little bit about this incident.
All right. How you doing, y'all?
What?
First of all, as far as in the whatever took place at the cheer practice, sir, this is exactly what happened. Me and my girlfriend pulled up, which is usually, now this is the thing about Mr. Timothy Robinson. He has beaten her for so long, for over 10 years. So this is the thing that he has, and there are criminal reports and everything. So when we do pull up to the actual cheer practice, and she's pregnant at the time, the police had just been called prior to this a week ago, where he didn't want to leave her home. I cannot protect her all the time. I work all day, work 14 hours a day. So when we did pull up, he did appear. She tried to park away from him. He knows this. We park totally away from him. His kids are not in the car. He knows this. He never brings them anything to drink. My girlfriend brings the drinks. He knows this. So when he does approach, I don't know whether or not he did or did not know I was in the vehicle, but I have been followed home from Mr. Robinson 3 times. 3 times he has followed us home. He's mad about her not introducing him. I've been knowing her since I was 13. I did make mistakes prior to now. I did do a 10-year bid, sir, and I am home, and that does not represent me, if that's what he was thinking. So as far as him trying to bring that, that's not it. I've been knowing her again since I was 13. Me and her daughter, which is one of my witnesses, was in the vehicle. I was in the passenger side. My girlfriend was in the driver's side. We park away because we seen his truck. We park away. He finds himself coming over to the vehicle. Why? I don't know why. But again, she's always have been scared of him. She has lost a tooth. He has knocked out her tooth and everything. So when he does approach her and he approaches the vehicle, he knocks on the window, and you will understand why I did exit the vehicle. When I did exit the vehicle, sir, I asked him to step away from the vehicle. Did not try to fight him. Now, the cheer parent that he did contact, that he was saying he was talking to, those two guys, sir, it's just me and 2 females. 2 guys come. Now I'm in the middle of 2 guys. So my girlfriend did try to stop me from getting close, from them jumping me. From there on, we leave. I'm outnumbered with an 18-year-old and my girlfriend. So we did leave. Now, as far as me wanting to hurt him, I take care of his kids. That's what I do. That's why whatever we're going through, the court system and whatever love he had for her, I don't know what's going on. Again, I was incarcerated. She will be a witness to all this information that I'm saying. And what happens was, when we do leave, sir, this is September. We find out the actual documents that I did receive, the application of the warrant. I do not reside at the residence, sir. That is not my name, sir. But she did receive it, and she did say, guess what? I believe my kid's father did take a warrant out on you. And I said, a warrant? Now, if anything, first of all, I am a child of God. I'm not trying to hurt him. He had 2 kids, two kids. Why would I even want to do something to you? But I will not allow you to hurt anyone. And you know that. That's why you did this coward move. And you know that. So you know I never ever, and I did apologize to you. I apologized to you because of what? Because of what? Because you said that you were going through counseling with her and you wanted your family back. And I apologized to you because I did not know that. And I said I did not mean to intrude on your family. She will always be a friend of mine. I am not out to hurt you. I work 14 hours a day, and you know that. So what you're trying to put this, thinking that this is going to be something to do with being that I am a felon, he's going to try to throw this, saying that he's going to get it. We know this, Quinn. You can one day you're going to have to stop. Now, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you, or whether or not I'm not going to go through that process. I have no care. I pray for you, bro, because something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. And may God bless your soul, bro, because I ain't out for you. And you know that. But whatever you hate you got in your heart, you're going to have to get over it. You're going to have to get over it, because I'm not going back for you or anything else. I will continue to take care of your kids, which you're not doing. You bought nothing. They did not have nowhere, no beds, no nothing. You remember that? So you should be thinking instead of doing this, because this is not going to get you anywhere. Remember that. Now, Judge, you can go ahead and proceed. I'm sorry for taking up your time, but
I get it. No, it's fine. It's fine. So, folks, I will remind everybody, I get it. These are real life situations. So ultimately, they're going to be emotional for both folks. So I understand that a lot of us, we can just keep ourselves composed, and you guys have. So that's fine. We'll proceed on. So what I want to do now is we're going to get one witness here at a time, Mr. Smith and Mr. Robinson, and we're going to see what they are going to say. Obviously, I tell people that if the witnesses are going to effectively confirm some of the same information, we may or may not need to have them testify long, okay? Because there's no need to delay the matter. So Mr. Robinson will be up first for any witnesses that he has. So let's go ahead. Mr. Smith, you can go ahead and mute. Mr. Robinson, unmute. And who would you like to call first?
I would like to call the witness that was actually there and seen literally everything from the beginning to end, T.Y. Jolly.
My daughter's in the hospital, so you may hear the nurses in the background.
I'm fine. That's all right. Your daughter's probably the most important thing in your world. It's all right. All right. Mr. Robinson, as I indicated earlier, you're going to ask this witness direct examination questions, which are just open-ended. We're interested to know what happened on the date of incident. So, Ms. Durden, he's going to ask you some questions under oath here, and we'll see what goes on. Mr. Robinson, I'll give you till about no later than 7:10. Okay, so go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, Ms. Durden. First, thank you for attending and assisting me. If you could first state my position as why I was even at this event.
You're a cheer dad with my girls at the cheer program.
Okay. And I've been an avid, consistent cheer dad that shows up every practice.
Well, hold up. That's testifying, brother. Let's
stop. Oh, okay. My bad.
Questions about what she knows.
Okay.
We know what you know.
All right. So, and when I show up, what do I do at that practice?
If it's during practice, you would sit outside and wait to see your daughter. If it's before, you'll go in and see her. And if it's after, you'll wait until practice is over with, and then you'll speak with her then.
Do I bring my daughter anything when I go to the practice?
Sometimes I have seen you with things in your hand, but I can't tell you specifically what it is, but sometimes, yes.
Okay. Do you mind giving the event of the night of the event that took place?
October 5th, I was back then by the door. I seen you when you came up and you was talking to another your dad. At that point, I seen your daughter's mother pull up. I seen her daughter and the son get out. They went inside. They came back out. I guess she was summoned to her car. I'm not sure, but I did see you when you walked over to the driver's side of the door. And then next thing I know, I was on the phone, but next thing I know, I seen a guy with the white shirt on come around and confront you. Hold on, baby. All I heard was for him, I seen him trying to get up in your face. You were standing with your hands behind your back. The other cheer dad came around to, assist the situation to see what was going on. He did take his white shirt off. And I heard that I'll beat your ass. And then that's when I seen your daughter's mother get out, and she got in the middle of you guys, and she was trying to push him back, but he was still steady trying to go after you. And then that's when the other cheer dad came, who was standing next to you. That's when he tried to tell the guy to calm down, calm down, calm down. And he started going after the other cheer dad.
Okay.
So
And
it's crazy because I normally not in my car, but that night I didn't feel good. And that's when I saw all this. I was backed in by the door because I normally back in by the door. So when my daughter comes out, she could just jump right in the car. So.
Right. And do you recall after he finally being put after the incident, do you recall the mother of my children staying, or did she drive off?
Well, by the time I saw the situation, by the time I went in the building and got the cheer program director, came back outside, after that, she had drove off because they had put the girls in the back. And then by the time we was able to get our daughters, she was already gone.
And do you recall me having to take anyone with me?
Your daughter?
Yes, I had to take my daughter, correct? So not only did the mother of my children abandon my daughter by speeding.
Stop.
Sorry, that's all I got. That's it.
Come
Sorry.
on.
That's all.
Any other questions for her?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. Smith, do you have any cross-examination questions for Ms. Durden?
I do. I wanted to actually, she stated that she seen me exit the vehicle, and go to the other side. Now, as far as in me exiting the vehicle, the only vehicle that was parked was the people that we was actually conversating with. When we were conversating with them.
Hold on, Mr. Smith. Ask her a question, a direct exam question. So let me just clarify so you know what a direct exam question is. That's a question that just essentially says, isn't this true, or this is what happened? So just so so go ahead.
Okay. Is it true that there were two gentlemen trying to attack me? Was that true? Or did you just see me trying to attack someone else? And if so, why didn't the attack actually take place?
Okay, so what I saw you exit the passenger side of the car. I saw you walk around the back. You came up on the driver's side where Mr. Robinson was. Then that's when you took off your white shirt. And then that's when he had his hands behind his back. You were attacking. You were trying to, I guess you were going forward towards him. I can't tell you everything, what was said, what you were saying, but I did hear you say that you would beat his ass. And then that's when another cheer dad came on the side of Mr. Robinson. And then I'm not sure what the conversation was between you guys, but then next thing you know, you guys start going at it. That's when I went and ran out of my car and got the cheer director. She came out and she grabbed the other cheer dad while another mom grabbed Mr. Robinson and was standing in front of him. Mr. Robinson had his hands behind his back. Mommy. Next thing you know, hold on, baby. Next thing you know, that's when the program director said that she was calling the police. You proceededly got back in once Mr. Robinson's daughter mom got in the middle of you guys. That's when you got in the car. You had your white shirt in your hand. You proceeded, got back in the passenger seat, and she drove off. That's when the program director called the police. You guys was not there when the police was called.
Oh, y'all?
No. Do you have any other questions?
Back in. I was in a baby.
But actually, you said I walked. Actually, he said I walked towards the front. Now you saying I walked towards the back. Did I jump over the vehicle or did I come around?
Okay,
you telling me it's two guys.
I don't know what Mr. Robinson said.
You don't know which way I
went. Hold on.
Because it was at the front. Now he's saying the back.
Folks.
Which way I came? The front or the back?
I said you got out and you walked towards the back and came up to the driver's
side. Well, he said I came across the front.
Well, I can't tell you what he said.
Well, I know what I saw. That's your witness.
Let me listen. I can determine who's lying and who knows. It's okay.
And at the end of the day, they have surveillance camera. You can pull the surveillance camera.
I'm hearing all the evidence. It's okay. I'm the one who's going to make the decision. You don't have to make it for me. You understand? So again, if you don't have any other questions for Ms. Durden is obviously at the hospital with her daughter. I don't need her.
Okay.
So if there's no other questions, I get it. I heard.
No, hey, have a blessed day, Ms. Durham.
You do the same.
All
right.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, let's get your next witness. Ms. Durden, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Next witness, I have, her name is Miss Durham, and she will be a witness for, could she be character or she can't? Okay. All right.
You
Well,
don't
other
have
than that,
another witness.
that's it.
Okay.
I'm good. We can dismiss Miss Durham. Actually, yeah, because Miss Durden was the only one that was there.
Mr. Robinson, I'll let people go when I want them to go, okay? Do you have
Oh,
anybody
okay,
else
okay,
that you
my
want to
bad.
introduce?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else that you want to introduce?
No, sir.
Any other evidence that you want to introduce?
I mean, not anything presently. No, sir.
No worries, no worries, no worries.
I'm sorry. I'm just a little,
Listen, y'all are new to it, but let me direct you through it.
Yes,
So,
sir.
all right. All right. So, Mr. Robinson, go ahead and put yourself back on mute. I'm going to let Mr. Smith introduce his first witness. So, Mr. Smith, who is your first witness?
Our first witness is going to be to Monday Leonard, sir. This is my girlfriend. This is his kid's mother.
Okay. We don't have to do all that.
Okay, I apologize.
Let her come on out. We're going to get her to come on. All right. Let me tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
Mr. Smith is going to ask you some direct questions. That means they're open-ended. Like, what do you know? What did you see? How do you feel? All right. Then, if you testify, I just want you to be clear, Mr. Robinson is going to have an opportunity to cross-examine. All right? So,
Okay.
just want to make sure everybody's aware of what is going to occur. All right.
Okay.
So, Mr. Smith, it is 7:12. I'm going to give you till about 7:20 to ask Ms. Leonard some questions here regarding the event that happened on the 5th of September.
Well, sir, I'm gonna actually not gonna ask her questions. I'm just gonna let her proceed to tell you her and what happened that night. I'm not gonna go through the necessary.
That's fine. You can just say, Ms. Leonard, what do you recall happening on September 5th? 2023? But you go ahead and say it because I'm not the person who's asking the questions. But effectively, that's what you want to know, right? What she knows on that day. Is that the case? So can you ask her that so we can proceed on?
Say it again, sir. I'm still at work, so
just ask her the question.
Ask her the question, sir.
Whatever question you want to ask her, feel free.
Ms. Leonard, could you proceed and tell the court what took place on that day that we actually arrived between Mr. Timothy Robinson and I, as far as in the charges that are being brought against me?
Yes. So on that day, I proceeded as normal to go pick up my daughter from cheer practice. It was towards the evening time where they get out, the latter part of the cheer practice. So actually, I thought they were already out when I got there. So when I arrived, they were not out as of yet. They sometimes do go over. I did see Mr. Robinson parked on the right-hand side of the parking lot. I proceeded to park on the far left side, away from Mr. Robinson, due to the fact that we have had run-ins with him and I personally before, just doing things to me and in front of the kids. So we did park there. We parked there. There was another lady on the side of us, which is actually his cousin's, Mr. Robinson's cousin's girlfriend or children's mother, who actually does go to the cheer practice, or is a part of the cheer program, as well. So we were talking to her, just, laughing, regular day. I think it was her birthday coming up, and we were talking about birthday and things like that. Mr. Robinson was in the middle, and like middle parking lot way. He did look down at the car. He saw, I'm sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Okay. Can you see me? Okay. He did proceed to look down at the car. He saw me in the car, Mr. Smith, Jonathan. My oldest daughter was in the car. At that time, the kids were not in the car. Again, Skylar was in practice. And our son, Mason, he was out playing with the boys in the parking lot. So there was his little cousins, the little girl that was in the car, which is his cousin's children's mother's daughter, which is, their cousin. She was actually in our car. She had came and got in our car. She wanted some food because we had stopped and got food before coming. And Mr. Robinson looked down. He then proceeded to come down to my vehicle. When I saw him approaching the vehicle, my first thing was, uh-oh, here we go. That was exactly what I said. Uh-oh, here we go. Next thing you know, he comes, he bangs on the door, or on the window rather, very aggressively. Mr. Smith then gets out of the car because we were all scared. He gets out of the car. He comes around. He asks Mr. Robinson to move away from the car or the window or what have you. I guess they then at that time exchanged words. Mr. Robinson said something to him. He then returned, said something back. At this time, my daughter gets out the car because she's in the back seat. So she's able to get out first. And I wasn't able to get right out of the car because they were right there at my door, window or whatever, for the driver's side. So as they proceeded to move a little bit further up towards the hood of the car, or the top portion of the vehicle, I was then able to proceed to get out of the car. Once I got out of the car, again, choice words were being had, both of them going back and forth. I then, stepped in the middle along with my daughter, basically saying, hey, this is not the place or whatever, let's just get ready to go. Then there was another gentleman who came around to the situation that was occurring, which Mr. Robinson left him because they were at his car when we first arrived. And he came around, so I assume that's his friend, to the situation. And then he started to have choice words as well, acting like he wanted to fight. And then I was in front of him saying, hey, no, 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 no. Again, this is not what we're here to do, just trying to basically diffuse the situation, myself and my daughter. So once we did that, we got Mr. Smith back. The other gentleman, somebody came and grabbed him. And that was it. Actually, Mr. Robinson actually left from in the area because the other guy ended up coming up. And so he walked away. So really towards the end was just, Mr. Smith and the other guy who decided to just jump in. So that's really it. We drove off from there and we didn't think about that situation from there at all. That was the end of that scenario, and nothing else took place after that. They haven't seen each other. Mr. Smith hasn't come to any more practices or anything like that, with me. He always comes to practices with me to pick up my daughter, different times. And there's never been any type of altercation between Mr. Robinson or him because he's brought, seeing the kids and just kind of walking them to the car, and they get in the car and we go on about our business as normal. So that's what took place that day.
Okay. Mr. Smith, do you have any other questions for Ms. Leonard?
No, Your Honor. It's clearly said. I'll bring my next.
Okay. Well, hold on. We can give an opportunity for Mr. Robinson to cross-examine.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Right.
I'm sure he's not going to do it.
It's good money. It's good money. All right. So, Mr. Robinson, I'll give you an opportunity to ask her some questions here. And it's about 7:19. So I'll give you till about 7:25.
All right. Good evening, Ms. Leonard. On that evening, was it true, or is it true that, well, let me first state by saying this. Is it a consistent thing that I go to our daughter's practice every Tuesday and Thursday?
Yes, you have been coming to the practice. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or to Skylar's practice, yes.
And he hung up on accident. But we'll wait for him to come back on.
Sorry about that, Judge. My phone died on me.
Yeah, I assume such. No worries. Miss Leonard is still there, so you go ahead and continue on with the question.
My bad. It was getting good. Sorry about that. So, question: Did Skylar have a form from her school about an instrument that she wanted to play?
Did she have a form for school? Yes, she has one. Yes, she had one.
Okay, so was there any interest that our daughter wanted to play instrument?
Yes, but I sent that to you the night before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Was I able to retrieve that to go purchase that instrument for our daughter?
Say that question again. I'm sorry.
Were you able to give me that form that the teacher sent home to Skylar, being that I don't see our daughter every day, our kids every day? Did I ever get that form? Yeah. Did you ever give me that form?
Yes, I sent it to you via text message.
So you sent that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you sent that to me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that evening, when I came around to you, when I came to your vehicle, you stated that I banged on the window. Did I bang or did I knock on the window?
You banged on the window.
Okay. And after I banged on the window, did Mr. Smith come around and try to aggressively approach me?
No, he came around to tell you to move from the car.
Okay. Did Mr. Smith have on any garments beforehand or after? Did he take anything off?
I didn't see him take anything off, no.
You didn't. Okay. Stating that my other individual that was there with me, instead of him coming to diffuse the situation, being that he did approach the situation, did Mr. Smith then not only aggressively approach me as well, but did he try to fight the other individual?
No, he didn't try to fight him. He was trying to figure out why he came into the situation. So to him, it looked like you all were trying to gang up on Mr. Smith.
It looked like we were trying to gang up on Mr. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, so after that took place, you stated that you drove off, correct?
After the entire situation, yes, I drove off from the premises, correct.
Okay. Did you have all of our children with us?
No, I did not. Skylar was still there. As I stated to you before, I had asked your cousin's girlfriend, which is the person whose daughter was in our car initially, to get Skylar.
Okay. Why would you ask my cousin to get our children as opposed to the dad? Because I'm an avid cheer dad, so I'm always there. So why wouldn't you tell our daughter to let me take her home instead of another sibling?
Well, because one, you and I do not have communication in that manner. And when you do come, you come towards the end. You normally just come in, or sometimes you come in the beginning of practice. You'll just give our daughter a drink or something of that nature, and you're gone. So I wasn't expecting you to be there. That's number one. I wasn't expecting you to be there. So sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. You do show up from time to time, but sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. So I don't rely on you as, something that I need to rely on, because you're not always there. And again, I don't always communicate with you in that manner in regards to picking up our children or anything like that. So normally it's just me that's doing it. So I make the necessary precautions or whatever to make sure that they're where they need to be.
Okay. Do I bring anything to the practice to my daughter? With me being there, do I bring our daughter anything to drink of any
Yes,
sort?
I just stated that you do bring her drinks from time to time. Yes.
Oh, so
if you
I do bring her things, right?
Yes, if you come during the beginning of her practice, because sometimes when we come, you're not there all the time. Like when we pull up and I drop her
Right.
off, you're not there. So I normally leave the premises after I drop Skylar off. So
Okay.
how I know that you will bring her something, she will say, "Hey, mommy, daddy came, he brought me something to drink," or something like that. And then that's it. Sometimes you're there when we actually come to pick her up, and then sometimes you're not. So the only way I would know if you are there is if I physically see you there, of course, when I come and pick her up. But other times you do come, but I don't know that you come until Skylar gets in the car and say, "Hey, mommy, daddy came, he brought me something to drink." But you'll leave and not return sometimes. So.
Okay. And lastly, the last question, was there a formal introduction from myself to Mr. Smith, or did you just automatically just start bringing him to my daughter's practice?
I told you that I no longer wanted to pursue our relationship due to, the constant mental, physical abuse that you provided. And I told you that I wanted to move on with Mr. Smith. You were not happy about that. You followed me when I told you followed me from my house. You followed me around the neighborhood area, wondering why. And that was how that went. You have heard about Mr. Smith in the past because he was a friend first before we started any type of romantic style relationship. So he was a friend to me at first. And while we were dating, when you used to, abuse me, different things like that, hit me, do in front of the kids and things like that, he has talked to you. And I've called him because of me crying or whatever, and him checking up on me. And he has actually talked to you personally and stated, "Hey, if I need to move her, I will. Do not do that." And you've even apologized to him saying, "Hey, man, it's nothing like that. We just, having a little disagreement."
I apologized to him, or did he apologize to me?
Well, years ago, you apologized to him. When you
what
first
was there?
initially
Okay, all right.
spoke, when you
So
first
what was
initially
there?
spoke with him, because you knew about him, you knew that he was my friend initially. Before again, we started this. What do you mean?
Folks, listen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because it's
Mr.
irrelevant.
I was just trying to
Mr. Robinson, Mr. Robinson. Let me
That's
stop.
it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Help yourself.
Yes.
Do you have any other questions for Ms. Leonard?
That is it.
All right. Do you have any redirect Mr. Smith for Ms. Leonard?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we're coming near the conclusion. Thank you, Ms. Leonard. You can please go and enjoy your evening.
Oh, I can just fully log off?
You can go.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Go shoot.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So, fellas, what we're going to do now, it is now effectively 7:30. So what I'm going to do, Mr. Robinson, I'm going to give you till about, I would say,
Sir, I have another witness, sir.
oh, you have, I'm sorry, Mr.
Yes,
Smith.
sir.
I didn't realize we spent a lot of time with that. So let's try to keep this witness short because we end up spending a lot of time because of the drop off here. So who is your next witness? I apologize.
My next witness is going to be Nyla Booker.
Okay, Ms. Booker, let's get Ms. Booker out of here. I'm going to have Mr. Smith ask you some, put your hand out, may I ask you some questions. They're going to be open-ended questions, okay? And so I'm gonna give him to about 7:35, folks. We need to kind of finish up the testimony in this case, and then we'll go from okay, Mr. Smith, the floor is yours.
Ms. Booker, could you go ahead and proceed to tell Judge Davis what happened on September the 5th? I believe that's the date that it was filed. Make sure you tell him the truth and go ahead and proceed.
Okay. Yes, we were leaving from getting something to eat that night. On the way to pick up my sister, which is Skylar, who was on the cheer team. We pulled up to the cheer establishment. We seen Mr. Robinson on the other side, parked. His car was parked on the other side of the parking lot. My mom parked purposely on the opposite side of the parking lot, being that we have had previous run-ins with him and different things like that, just to avoid any problems or anything like that. My brother, Mason, he got out the car. By this time, he got out the car. He was playing football with the other kids that were in the parking lot. The lady who was sitting next to us, which was his cousin's girlfriend, her daughter came and got in the car because we had food and, she wanted some. So she was in the back eating my food. That's what happened. We were sitting there talking, just having conversation. My mom and Mr. Smith were also engaged in a conversation with her as well. We seen Mr. Robinson coming out of the establishment. He looked down at the car, so he knew that Mr. Smith was in the car. And then he proceeded to walk over to the car, and he knocked on the window very aggressively. When he did that, Mr. Smith then proceeded to get out of the car and come around to the side that he was on, which was my mom's side, and told him that he needed to back up from the car and things of that nature. Words were exchanged. They are going back and forth. There was another gentleman who came up to, I guess, defend Mr. Robinson, and it was as if he wanted to fight Mr. Smith. So at that point, we're trying to get Mr. Smith back in the car, tell them that this is, we're not doing this here. Just trying to diffuse the situation. So by this time, we have gotten Mr. Smith back in the car. Mr. Robinson actually walked away from when the guy came over. He walked away. So he was no longer there. And by that time, we got Mr. Smith back in the car. And after that, we drove off and we left. And that was that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rock, any other questions, Mr. Smith?
I do have one question. Nyla, were you holding me back, or were you trying to, the new gentleman that did come when there was two guys? I do remember the altercation that was happening, but I remember you trying to stop the other guy. Were you trying to stop another guy also?
Yes, I was, because he was trying to come up as if he wanted to fight Mr. Smith as well.
And I believe that she doesn't understand the. I'm sorry, sir.
Open-ended questions.
I apologize.
Questions. All right, open-ended questions.
I can't hear you, Judge.
Just open-ended questions, as long as it's open.
Okay. Well, go ahead, Judge. Hey, I'm gonna let God handle the rest. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I want you to.
It's okay. Listen, it's okay because it's all right. That's all the question I had. He can cross-examine if he need to.
Okay. All right. All right, Mr. Robinson, you have any questions for him?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Smith, for that. So, Ms. Booker, that particular night, first, let me first state this. When I approached the vehicle, you stated that I banged on the window, or did I knock on the window?
I said that you knocked on the window very aggressively.
So it was like knock like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And so with me knocking aggressively, is that when Mr. Smith jumped out of the vehicle aggressively?
No, he didn't start out aggressively. He got out the car, came around to the side that you were on where you were standing, and told you that you need to back away from the car.
Okay. Did I have my hands behind my back or did I have them to the side of me?
I'm not sure where you had your hands at.
You're not sure. When did you get out of the vehicle?
I got out of the vehicle when I seen you guys going back and forth.
Going back and forth verbally, or was Mr. Smith trying to like get in my face or anything of that nature? And what was said?
He just told you that you need to get away from the car. At that point, you started backing up or whatever it may be, and that's when I got out and proceeded to try to break you guys up.
That's when you proceeded to try to break us up. Okay, yes. And then at that point, once you proceeded to break us up, did your mom leave and all of you all was in the vehicle with Skylar included, or did she leave Skylar?
Skylar was still in practice. Practice was still going on. So it's not like she just left her out straight or anything, but she was in the practice still.
Did your mom come back and get Skylar?
No, because she called somebody, her cousin, to have her to pick Skylar up and bring her home.
Okay. Did her cousin pick up Skylar to bring her home?
I mean, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, so the next day, how did Skylar get to
Your Honor, that has nothing to do with the case, Your Honor.
I see you objecting. I do want to say that isn't relevant. That isn't.
Well, it is because I'm stating. I'm sorry, not to overrule what you're stating is not and or.
You have a child support case and you're trying to prove something.
Okay, I was asking in terms being that I was the one that stayed there to bring my daughter home because she was left. Practice when all this was over, all this took place. Practice had been over. So, yeah, I was the only one. So that's why I was asking, did she go home with her? Yes or no?
Your Honor, practice was not over. Skylar was still in there practicing. Practice was still going on. My mom called, had Skylar's cousin's mom to pick her up and ask her if it was okay if she could bring her home.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Any redirect, Mr. Smith?
No, Your Honor. You can go ahead and proceed.
All right. Ms. Booker, thank you so much for your time this evening.
You're welcome.
Free to go, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Robinson, it is now 7:37. I'm going to give you till about, well, 7:38. I'm going to give you till about 8:01 to kind of surmise what you got here and why an arrest warrant should be issued. Why you feel as if, no, let me just slow down. Specifically, addressing the terroristic threats and acts, that allegation that you've made.
Absolutely. You know, the thing is with Mr. Smith, it's not that I have any ill will against the gentleman particularly. Now, to be quite candid, do I want to institutionalize individuals that around my children? Quite frankly, I do not. I feel there's nothing that you can instill into my children. And quite frankly, my children are afraid of Mr. Smith. They have quite honestly told me, Dad, you know, every time they come around, you know, when are we going to be able to see you? When are we going to be able to be around you? Their mother purposely keeps my children away from me. We actually have an open legitimization case at this time. And I'm working on, you know, basically just trying to have the legal way of getting my children and protecting them at the same time. Again, the way that I was introduced to Mr. Smith wasn't a candid introduction. Again, it was more so a individual that, hey, he's just now being brought around my children. He is an active gang member, and I'm stating this because he's threatening me, hey, I'm big blood, I'll have, you know, this person do this, I'll have this person do that. Again, it went to this extent because I guess, again, he had to prove himself, but this isn't the first time that he's threatened me. With the apology that he's given, it was more so, again, apologizing because he realized that it wasn't best interest for him to try to harm me or put me in any way of, you know, threats. And honestly, I just don't feel that it's the best of interest for him to be around my children, being that, for one, he doesn't like me, you know, and he doesn't have children. So there's no dialect. There's no way, you know, for him to try to show me that, hey, you know, I can do this, I can do that without my kids being threatened. They're more concerned of being around their father. who they don't really see. And now this individual that's being pushed on them because their mother is looking for a particular type of love, they're stuck in the middle. So at this particular time, you know, I just feel that it's not a best interest that Mr. Smith is around my children. This was just the icing on the cake. And I'm glad I went the legal way to not, you know, show that, hey, I have to be a big guy or a tough guy. She's been using him as a bully tactic for such a long time. And Your Honor, I'm just tired. And I just, you know, don't want anything to particularly happen, honestly. That's my concern. I don't want him to feel the type of emotion because he understands the plane of the mind. And I don't want him to snap and one day possibly hurt, if not the mother of my children, maybe my children. That has been a major concern of mine for the longest. And, you know, I try to keep my distance from him. I try my best not to be around him. Every time it's been try to be a big bully. Like he's tried to use this, you know, I'm gonna do this. I'm a worldwide gang member. I'm a kill you. When my baby mom said that I got a conversation from him years ago, it was because he was incarcerated. And that's when I kind of knew that she was talking to him, but he threatened me from inside. Saying,
Mr. Robinson, are you done?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Mr. Smith?
But,
Yeah. Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any closing statements?
Yes, sir, I do.
7:45.
Your Honor, I can sit here and we can go back and forth about who wants to hurt who, but I did 10 years in prison. 10 years. I will never in my life risk my life to hurt you. Now, if we could, you can talk to your kids because they will tell you what Uncle Jay do. They'll tell you how much they love me. They'll tell you who play football and basketball and do these things with them. They tell you where his Christmas presents come from last year. I don't remember you bringing anything. They're going to tell you about the shoes and the clothes I purchased, you know, and being that you should know that you're not doing anything for those kids. And you know that to money needs me there, something wrong with you, man. Something literally wrong with you because you're not going to help pay no bills. You're not going to do any of this. But for you to take this tactic because I started dating that girl, you know it's wrong, bro. You know it. I'm not going to sit here and debate with you about nothing. You know, you have said over and over, I'm not a threat. If you're talking about this situation, we came in contact with each other, this situation out there, and we never seen each other again since then, and you fear that I'm going to do something to you, you know, you mailed the letter to where you said, you think I stay. So why haven't anything happened to you? What recent information could you actually put out there other than the incident that me and you just took place that I try to hurt you? I have no reason to hurt you. My life is with your kids now. I know you don't listen. I know you don't want them to call. I would never make your kids call me dad. You don't have to worry about that. If that's what you're scared of, but I done taught your son a lot of things. He can catch now. Yeah, he can do a lot of things now.
All right, listen, we're no longer dealing with these things that are dealt with the facts. So go ahead and mute yourself, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. All right. So fellas, let's just be 100. If this event clearly is about two things, really, a woman and some kids, right? It's really about that. And ultimately what it should be about is the love and protection and safety of those kids. But y'all have turned it on your heads and made it about yourselves, right? This is why we're here. Because the individuals that ultimately are most important, they've gone. Kids hopefully are at home. The mom is off this hearing, but y'all still here. The people who ultimately say they care the most to make sure that they get what they need, that they get their drink at their practice, that they make sure they got their shoes at home. But instead, y'all spending your time here arguing about who should get arrested and who should not get arrested. I don't necessarily see two men very concerned about their families as much as they're concerned about themselves. You understand? And so I haven't heard any testimony, sir, and I'll tell you what terroristic threats are. It's a threat of active violence. There is a threat of burning down a building or or releasing some hazard. None of that has happened. What I do see is two men seeming to be at odds with one another, at least though Mr. Robinson sounds particularly with you, at odds with the fact that there's a man that entered your baby mom's life. That's what seems to be you don't seem to like him. But you did know him before this event because you communicated that you know him. Mr. Smith, I understand you may have some concerns about Mr. Robinson for what Ms. Leonard told you about his past and maybe what you've known from other issues. But folks, if you guys are ultimately committed to the women in these lives, which are the children and the woman, then you understand that your continued actions like this are going to end up causing you to be further away from them. You understand? Now, Mr. Robinson, whatever you seek to achieve in the courts, that's what it's going to be. But you're not going to accomplish it through this particular matter because there's no actual crime that's been committed. You couldn't even tell me what he exactly said. You never said it yourself in your testimony. Don't talk over me.
Oh.
So what I'm ultimately saying to you is, folks, is being dismissed. Please get it together. Don't come to my courtroom making allegations that you don't have sufficient support of, and that ultimately will lead to more of a unhappy home. Let these kids see that y'all get together and are okay. Because if you're not, they're not going to want to be around either one of you. But listen, you got your legitimization. You've got the young lady. Folks, enjoy your kids. You don't have the one. Enjoy the woman. That's not your kids. That's what I'm going to say about it. If y'all do something else about it, we'll be happy to arrest you. We got a jail full. We ready. But I'm not going to do it tonight. So you guys can have a good evening. Hit the leave button, guys, and don't be disrespectful. Don't say nothing crazy because I will still issue an arrest warrant. Get off my line. Get off my line. Both of you. You too, Mr. Smith. Play. There's a problem accessing the vehicle. I didn't think that was going to happen. Let's see. But I do have pictures.
The videos. Okay, so actually I sent a video because I didn't know I recorded at the time, but I actually recorded the whole thing. I think I was trying to record like to show the police like she was vandalizing my car, but I end up running out there.
Oh, hold on before we get all that, because I really don't know what you're talking about yet. So hold tight.
Yes, sir.
I'm unable to see any of the videos. Let me see if I can see them from another source here. While I do that, let me get you under oath. Well, I've already got you under oath because we talked about things earlier. Now, this is going to be an ex parte hearing. What that means is that the individual that you're making the allegation against is not here and does not have an opportunity to present any defense. It's not uncommon. It commonly happens. But nonetheless, don't assume that it's going to issue. I'm still here determining whether or not there's probable cause. Again, we are here regarding the allegation of 3, pointing or aiming a gun or pistol, criminal trespass, and simple battery harm. All right. And those are what alleged to have occurred. Specifically, you allege down in the facts that this situation that took place Tuesday night while I was at your Kia house, there's not much more said in that note. But I'm going to let you to about 7:55 give me a statement about what happened on this evening regarding these particular allegations. Okay.
Okay, so speaking of the incident, I don't really know much. That's why I was hoping that the witness, the lady, was going to be here because I was actually asleep. I went over there, we was watching a movie, and when I woke up, it's like everybody yelling, like, damn. I'm like, what's going on? They like, the girl, Lil Raya, they like, Raya slash her tires. By the time I woke up, she was gone. But I was told like she was telling me to come outside, but nobody never woke me up. So by then, I think I had called the police or the mama called the police, but she ended up pulling back up. So when she pulled back up, she was at the end of the driveway yelling. The mom wouldn't let me come outside. The mom, actually, when I walked out the door, the mom pushed me back in. But by then, the girl ran up and I think she had already slashed my tires, but she was by my car again. So I actually ran out. We got into an altercation and they ended up breaking it up. So when they broke it up, she like, where my gun? Where my gun? And I guess she found it. Well, she found it. And I seen her pointed at me, and that's when I ran up and we started fighting again. But she was beating me with the gun. And I got makeup on, but I got a scar right here. And that's when we started fighting. In the video, I have it recorded. I'm like, get the gun, get the gun, get the gun. And then they like, she leaking, I'm bleeding. So I don't really remember much. I don't know if I went unconscious or I just don't remember, but I do remember running in the house and I seen like I had blood all over my face because I had a scar on my lip. And I was bleeding on my feet because I didn't have no shoes on. And I heard gunshots. And I was wiping the blood off. Like, I'm panicking. Like, I'm crying. Like, I'm hurting. So so she shoot, the police pull up, and they wasn't able to find the shells. I'm like, she shot like 10 times. Like, we should be able to see some shells. But months later, I end up finding 2 bullets in my tag. But we didn't have that evidence at the time. So I'm wondering that's why they didn't take it. They didn't proceed with my case, but that's kind of it.
I'm trying. So one of these is, so I'm just trying to get some clarification here. I'm looking at this police report that you provided. All right. So Miss
I left out some information.
Okay. So hold on. Was Miss Giles there when the police arrived?
No, she was gone.
She was gone. Do you know her personally?
I actually don't, and I never met her. But her baby's father, we went to
was coming. Okay, y'all have a mutual a love interest.
Well, we only dated in middle school, but we always been cool. But they was together. We was just friends.
I see.
We childhood friends.
I understand.
But he passed in April.
He passed away. Jesus. Sorry. Y'all too young to be passing away.
I know. It's crazy.
Okay. I'm also looking on the report. Where is the Giles information here? You don't know this person at all.
I don't know her personally. We don't have mutual friends besides of her.
And so the mother allegedly gave the person the information, but we assume that that's her address.
Well, I'm assuming that was the real address because they pick up the kids.
Okay, so that's the address you believe that the gentleman lives at?
No, the gentleman was dead.
Oh, okay. Well, at the time
before the incident.
Oh, he was dead before the incident.
He died in April. The incident was in September.
That's right. So you don't have any idea why this person would do this to you?
Oh, that's why I was hoping she was here because I want to know what is going on. Like, why do I have to watch?
So I'm going to be honest with you, Miss.
Somebody I don't know,
Miss Wilson. So I see the pointing or aiming a gun, but we don't have any evidence for that.
It's in the video, because if you hear the video,
let me see. Let's see if I can find the video. We don't know if I'm going to be able to share it, but I'm going to see if I can.
Do you want me to play it?
No, that's not going to work out. Hold tight.
And then I have another video. Come to find out, they had previously been looking for me because my cousin. Okay, so actually, I'm missing a lot of parts because.
Well, hold on. I don't want to hear all those parts. I want to hear the parts. Wait. Listen to me. I want to know how you know or have any evidence to support that this woman did the following: shot a gun at you, right? Or not shot a gun, because that's different. If she shot a gun at you, because that's a felony, but pointed a pistol at you, right? Mm-hmm. She also slashed your tires. We want to know any evidence regarding her slashing your tires.
Everything I'm saying, I have evidence.
Okay. And so I'm trying to open this video. It says you do not have permission to access this video.
That's why I'm kind of confused, because I feel like this should be a felony as well.
If it's a felony, then it can't be a criminal warrant application. You
said something about that earlier, and you was like, you in the wrong place, but I'm already here. So
but just because you're here doesn't mean I'm going to do whatever just because you're here. Let me do this for you. I don't think right now you have everything that you really want to present to the court, right?
I do. Yes.
You do, because I can't see the video.
Waiting on this day.
I hear you, but I can't see your video. And if I can't see your video, I don't have enough evidence. I do see pictures of you having some damage to your body, but I don't have anything else. Let's go sit up.
Do you have the pictures of the bullets? I sent those as well. I also sent the 2 bullets.
You told me that you found 2 bullets 2 months later. That isn't within the span of time. I'm not trying to be difficult with you, but I'm just police came out. I want you to provide me new evidence. They saw your bruises as well. I need to know that this individual did it. You're saying you have evidence. You say you have witnesses that say that she saw it. I don't have any witnesses. I don't have anybody testifying to me. I don't have you. Only pictures you have are of you being harmed. And I support that. I think that's evidence. But who harmed you? I don't have any evidence of that. Now, you say you have video, but I'm just saying, unfortunately, that video does not play on any of my current devices. I have 2 different devices up. And so I'm not saying I want to dismiss your case. I'm saying, we're going to reset it so we can get this evidence that you say clarifies this whole situation. But what makes me more concerned, though, is really the allegations that you're ultimately saying have happened are felonies, that someone shot at you, that someone slashed all your tires and committed damage to your car. If it's more than $500, it's a felony. Damage to your car. How much was the damage to your car?
It was over 500.
And that's a felony, man.
But like you said, we didn't have like the police didn't continue because we didn't have all the information. They wasn't able to find the shells. We did not see any bullet holes, but all my tires were slashed. So my car had to get towed to my grandma's house. I didn't get my car fixed. I also have a screenshot. My sister took a picture by my car. This way before I even knew. When I seen the bullets, I'm thinking like, how can I prove that this was already here? Because I know it didn't happen. So I remember my sister took a picture by my car. And I told her to send me a picture. And that date was September the 8th. My car, my tires were slashed. So my car haven't been moved. It was in my grandma's driveway from that night. I went to the hospital that night. So I didn't move my car to the next day. So I got a screenshot of my sister taking a picture. And there was 2 bullets in the tag. But I'd never seen like you said, I never seen the bullets. So I was cleaning out my car. And it was sitting. Really, I was cleaning out my car and I seen the bullets sitting like in there. I'm like, what? How did this get in here? So that's how I noticed.
But that doesn't support pointing a pistol at you. And I don't know.
But in the video,
that's what I'm saying. Listen.
you'll hear it.
You got this video. And I don't, again, hearing gunshots alone could support for probable cause.
Actually, the gunshot's not even in the video.
Well, then what's in the video?
The video shows me in the house recording her at the end of the driveway, and she walks up and I runs out, and you can hear the whole fight, and you can hear when she say, "Where's my gun?" And then you can hear us fighting again. Then you can hear me yelling, "Get the gun, get the gun, get the gun." You can just hear all the commotion.
But that doesn't
luckily,
is it a video that you can see all of these things?
No, because it was dark.
So listen. I'm not trying to be difficult. But
I'm not either. I've been waiting.
I know. But I just can't arrest people who, one, I don't have sufficient evidence to say they did it. You don't even have a witness. Like, it'd be different if you had one of your witnesses be like, "Hey, I saw her do this."
That's a concern as well, because my family members was concerned. And they were saying that maybe I was set up the way
nobody was here. But see, nobody's here. And all the people were there at the time, right? You had more people there to tell the police what was going on then. And
they're not here. Exactly.
But so I can't help. I make them appear. I can't just say what you said they said and support all that. And so I'm giving you an opportunity, because otherwise I'm going to tell you that you don't have sufficient evidence for your charge. I can reset it and you can see if you can get that information. But I'm still concerned that overall what you're alleging has occurred are felonies. And ultimately,
I also have a video of. Okay, so let me wait. Let me
tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have a choice. You're either going to let me reset the case, or you're going to let me make a decision. What do you want to do today?
I mean, I would love for you to make a decision with my evidence.
That's what you want me to do tonight?
But you're not able to see all my evidence for me to prove my case, so it would still be insufficient.
So what do you want to do?
I want you to reschedule it. But if you reschedule it, what do I need to provide? How can I show you the video?
I want to hopefully can get a video because I've seen people's videos. People have submitted videos. We can't watch videos. You just got to whatever Google Drive. We can't. I don't know if you gave me permission, but Google Drive has a lot of different things that happen. Sometimes videos you don't have permission to watch them, depending on what's going on. I don't want to remove your ability to present the evidence, but if you want me to rely on just what you got, it ain't gonna be sufficient. I'm gonna just tell you that now. But if you've got more evidence that you say we just can't see this evening, then I'm saying let's get it so we can see it, because I want to give you full opportunity. So let me ask my clerk this. Clerk, do you have a reset date that we can get Ms. Wilson?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yes.
Again, just want to see.
Daddy!
Ms. Wilson, are there any other allegations that have been taking place? Have any other criminal charges been made on this Ms. Gray? Do you know of that?
I don't understand the question.
Do you know whether or not any other arrest warrants for the alleged felonies that apparently happened? If you say that you were pistol whipped, that's a felony.
And the police sent me to the hospital. They seen I was bleeding.
I hear that. So usually the police will pull up on felonies. This ain't just a fight, right? You were beat with a gun. I saw the pictures. So nobody investigated that any further. You didn't present this evidence to have you presented this video to the police? When
I got my evidence, they told me that since my judge have it, there's no longer the investigator can do.
That's
They told me it's in the judge
I,
hands.
I don't. If it's a felony
Mhm.
and someone has pistol whipped you,
That's
you
why,
that's assault with a deadly weapon, ma'am.
and that's why I was concerned, because I was hoping.
So maybe we'll do a couple things. I'm gonna reset you, but during that reset, if it's your interest, you might want to actually present the video to them and remind them that you are alleging that you were beat over the head with a firearm. The police in DeKalb County don't ignore those things. I get people who get called on police for just someone pushing them down. So there's something missing, because I do trust that not all the time, but our police officers investigating. If you've got additional information that support a felony, that you were beat with a weapon, you need to present that to them.
Okay, so at the time I didn't know I recorded the video. That's why I didn't show them.
I'm not telling you that what you knew. I'm talking about what you should do now. But let me ask my clerk. Clerk, do we have a reset date?
Yes, the earliest reset date is February the 5th. Yeah, all the other calendars are full.
It is the end of the year. It does tend to do that.
Some of them are overly full, but they are full.
Well, Miss Wilson, what would you like to do? We got till the 5th, but it sounds like there might be some other things that you might still need to do until that time. So it might be beneficial to you, because you need to see, based upon the allegations that you made this evening, you might need to follow back up with the officer.
So okay, I got two questions if you don't mind. I just looked in my email. I sent the video through email besides Google Drive. I wonder if you got that one, because that was short enough for me to send an email. And that's just showing the day of her and her friends on social media talking about the incident, saying they beat me with the gun. And it was another guy saying he pushed me so hard that something, all of it is in the video. But that one was sent through Gmail.
Let's see. I do see this video, but it's just a very short video of the damage of your car. That was like 2 seconds.
This one says 7:04 a.m.
Miss Wilson, while he's looking at that, just a question for you, or just a little information, because he probably won't be able to give it to you. The police report that you have, they're automatically assigned to detectives. So even if you don't know who that is, even if you've lost your police report number, you should be able to call back to any local DeKalb County police precinct, give them your name, and they should be able to pull up the police report associated with your name, and they'll be able to tell you who has been assigned to your case as a detective, so that you can get in and get you in contact with that detective, so they can get to working on your case if in fact these are felony charges as to what he's speaking of.
Yes, ma'am. I actually know my detective. I have spoke to him. His name is Detective Campbell.
You need to follow back up with Detective Campbell with these videos. I'm going to reset it to the 5th. And then obviously, if anything happens between that time, you update the court, because if there are official charges taken out for felonies, then that'll resolve this matter for the most part. But I'm going to reset you to the 5th. I can't open these videos.
February?
Yes, that is the next date that we do have. But you have some work to do, Miss Wilson. I hate to say that. I know you're a victim.
I don't have a problem doing work.
Oh, I'm not telling you that you do. But what I'm saying is that you need to contact them and show them the same videos that you intended to show me this evening. They obviously had witnessed your injuries, so they don't need to see those, obviously. But the video that seems to support what you're saying, you need to show that to them. I mean, they're detectives. That's what they do. This hasn't happened that long ago, okay? And so you'll still have both matters proceeding, or this matter proceeding. We're not dismissing it. But we need to, one, get you to send us the videos in a format that we can look at. And then two, you need to call your detectives. Okay. But that's what we're gonna do this evening. Because most of what you've described to me are felonies. You've got a felony damage, you've got maybe a felony assault and battery, assault with a deadly weapon. These are not misdemeanors, man. They're just not. They're just not. And I'm not telling you that because I want you to get justice. This isn't a proper forum for it to happen.
Okay.
Okay.
And how can I send y'all the videos? Because I'm
gonna be frank with you. I'm not a tech guy. I'm a law guy. So you might want to get with somebody or call the clerk's office to see, but trying to share it through Google Drive, I found in many situations don't work because there are a lot of protections associated with Google. And it doesn't always happen if you don't know exactly who you're sending it to. Because when it gets sent to me, you may give permission to the court to view it, but you don't give permission to my email to view it. And as a result, because you don't have my email and we don't give out the judge's email. So that becomes problematic. So if you have one that's just like a regular vid, maybe something that's in like a phone like that, we've seen plenty of those. Okay. All right. Don't be dismayed. You need to call the police and talk with your detective. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to let you go this evening. We'll look for those videos. All
Have a good
right,
one.
Ms. Winfield. All right. The allegation is, again, criminal trespass damage. That's going to be an allegation that happened. Again, it says 2022, but you got several dates of incident that you have here. But specifically in the application that you made against, and this is a gentleman, correct? Amaria's male, Mr. Bethea. He says you broke all the windows. So the one we're here about this evening is that he broke all your windows while you were asleep.
Yes, at 5 in the morning.
5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you're already under oath. What other evidence did you submit? Because I'm looking for it here to support the fact that you know or have sufficient evidence to say that this person more than likely than not committed this crime.
I have evidence of the pictures that I took when he busted all the windows, but I didn't know I was supposed to upload them because I was told by the detective that wasn't really enough evidence. I don't know why he stated that, but I didn't bust my windows myself, and I knew that it was him because he knows my hours of work. I work for Amazon. I had to be to work by 6 every.
Let's not tell all your hours right here on live stream so nobody else knows what your hours are. How about that?
Okay, sorry. But that's why it happened at 5 in the morning in the middle of me sleeping. I just woke up to the glass shattering.
So anything else that you can say that you know this is him, or you have a reasonable belief but beyond you having a prior relationship with this individual?
When I woke up and ran to the living room, I seen that he was in a white and black van, which is his working van. So that's how I knew that it was him. But do I have any pictures of him pulling off? No, because once again, I was woken up to the windows being shattered. So about time I ran to the window to my living room, and I noticed that the patio was busted out as well. He spazzed up the street, like the way my apartment's made. You have to go up the street like to get out. But I knew it was him because it said Wings Transportation Van, which is his working van. So,
which you don't have any pictures, no.
I have pictures of the windows being busted out, but not pictures of the van.
And so how much did it cost for the windows to get replaced?
They charged me $1,300, and I'm still working on that.
So normally it's criminal trespass damage. So this is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a victim, and so I don't ever want people to feel as if the system doesn't work for them. But there is a such thing as probable cause. I know you have the statement that you believe that this is him, and you obviously have the evidence of the windows being broken out. But we don't have any other evidence that is indefinite or more than likely not him. We know that you have your testimony, but if you don't have anything more than maybe what the officer had at the time and witnessed, and he was there present, then it's difficult for me to make a different decision if I don't have anything more than what was presented, which is my windows is busted out. You know what I mean? And so we know you're a victim of a crime. I know you're telling us this is the man who did it. And I've had situations where that's happened before, but let me ask you this. When's the last time you saw this man where he wasn't just secretly trying to commit a crime against you?
He was secretly doing it. He do this when, that's how I know he was stalking me. It seemed like he do things either when I'm in sleep or he broke into my apartment.
Last time you guys dated?
Oh, it been a year or two ago.
Okay.
That's how long. I don't.
When's the last time you spoken to him?
When the last time he spoken to
Or
this
last
day?
time I spoke?
Oh, I haven't spoke to him. I don't have anything to say to this gentleman.
I know what I'm saying. When's the last time you've spoken to him?
From my understanding, it probably was 2022. If you see the cases that I put in.
I understand.
I'm just confused. I mean, everyone keeps saying.
Do you guys have any children together?
No. I don't have any kids by him.
And how long were you guys together?
At the time when I was dating him, I was dating him for a little over 3 years.
Has he been arrested at all from any of these prior or allegations that have been made?
I think he have. I'm not for sure, for trespassing.
Okay. And when did that one happen? Do you know?
No, sir.
Miss Winfield, rather, I'm sorry. The problem is I don't have enough. I just don't have enough information to say that this was this gentleman, especially, I mean, I know you say you identified his work truck. And there's nobody else who there working for him.
Because I told you I have pictures, but you keep saying everybody keeps saying I have to actually see this gentleman. I had to,
or not even the gentleman or the truck or the guy getting in the truck.
I can't help that this happened in my sleep.
So I know.
How can I take a picture of it?
I understand. But what I'm saying to you is that means there needs to be more either investigation by the police to see what's going on. Because if I understand you have no choice of someone victimizing you and you don't have any clear identification of them.
Yeah, because he played cat and mouse with it. I don't know. I can't control.
I get it. And that obviously is a problem, but we can't purely arrest people on the assumption that this is them. I have to have some evidence, I understand your testimony is your evidence. But at the same time, I got to get a little bit more support than that, because
so if I send the pictures, that still wouldn't be enough evidence.
But it's just the pictures of the damage. It's not a picture of who did the damage or how the damage was done. The brick. You see what I'm saying? Like people are. I get people, and I'm gonna be honest. I get ladies who unfortunately are battered by men, right? But there's usually sometimes some evidence to show that they were battered by these men, or they're in a relationship, or they live together, or something like that. But we've got a situation where people throwing bricks in your window and they dipping out. You know.
That's what happened.
And let me ask you this. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. People find out where people live, no matter whether or not they talk or not, with technology these days. And you say this gentleman here.
Because I've been here over 4 years, so of course he know where I live.
Oh, you haven't since moved, I see.
Yeah, I haven't moved because I'm a single parent of 3 kids. I don't have that kind of income to get up and just move.
Man, if you had I'm not gonna go that far. So look, you've got a lot of complaints against this man. You got one that's more recent than even this one. Follow back
because
up.
he do a lot of things that I'm not aware of.
You got to follow back up with the police. I don't want to have this individual, if he is committing these things against you.
I did follow up with the police. That's how I end up becoming to you guys.
I'm talking about the most recent allegation that occurred back in. You got this one is November 3rd, where he burglarized.
Yeah, the police know that. I'm just confused. I'm not going to say nothing.
Was he arrested for this?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what the cops are doing. That's why I'm in the courtroom with you. I'm trying to figure out what else for me to do. Everybody keeps saying evidence. I need to see that he's doing. I even bought a camera. The man, I don't know what else to do if I don't have a picture. I'm not around this guy. I'm not around him. I don't want to be around him.
I understand. But I don't have enough evidence to say that this is the man that actually is around doing these things to you.
I'm not doing it to myself.
I'm saying that you're doing it to yourself.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to me too. You don't have any cameras in your home or outside your home, anything like that?
I actually had to recently bought a camera. The thing when he broke into my apartment and stole my laptop and other things that don't belong to him. This was before I even bought a camera. The detective, Detective McCord, he the one who stated to me to buy a camera so I can have enough evidence. So I haven't seen him showed up. He haven't came by. They came and fixed the door. The people that own these apartments had to fix the windows, which they charging me for it. They charging me for all these damage that he causing. And now in the courtroom, y'all basically saying the same thing that the police state to me, that the detective state to me. Everything basically I gotta have evidence. I gotta have a picture of the van.
And let me tell you,
when I'm half asleep.
Miss Winfield, let me tell you, it's not easy telling people that you need to have evidence when things happen to them and they're unaware of who it caused the incident. It bothers us too, because I want people to go to jail if they're committing crimes against you. And I understand you're like, well, why isn't it just enough for me to say it, to say that he did it? Because unfortunately, Miss Winfield, there's some people who don't have they think somebody's doing it, might be somebody else. It does happen. It
Even
does.
in the middle of the night, or you
The
sleep.
people, for real, people get crimes committed against them all the time. Believe me, I hear all types of things.
Oh yeah, I watch the ID channel every day, all day.
It is true. But what I'm ultimately saying to you is if this individual is committing these host of crimes to you, and he's consistently done these things to you, and there are no other men or women or anybody who wants to do it, there should be something beyond happening that we can say, hey, he did it, or likely somebody did it, that more likely than not is him. If I had a picture of this Weems truck and you could tell me he works for Weems, police report, we got an arrest warrant. But we ain't got no picture of the Weems truck. We ain't got no picture of no neighbor's video camera if they have any of the Weems truck. We ain't got no security footage from your apartment complex. Maybe they could caught a picture of the vehicle leaving the scene, leaving the complex, right? They should have security. If they don't, that's a problem in it itself.
They have a security, but
then they should have camera footage of this vehicle. Now, it's been a little ways now, but they should have camera footage of somebody at least leaving the area of the apartment complex after that person done broke in your home. They should have it. Because you don't live on a street, you live in a complex. That means you got to go in and out. Somebody got a video.
No,
so
let
me tell you what I think you should do. Mm-hmm. I don't have enough evidence today, but I don't want to leave you today not just telling you there ain't no evidence. What I want to tell you is that unfortunately, when nobody leaves a trail, we got to find a trail. And sometimes the officers may or may not feel as if they have enough information. But what I'm expressing to you is, if this continues to happen in your apartment complex don't want to continue to be vandalized, paying for homes and doors and windows. They should be interested in helping you find out who does this as well, because it's causing them problems.
They actually know who does it. They know he did it. They just, everybody's saying you got to have evidence.
Well, how is it that they have no camera footage of nothing?
I don't know. This departments, maybe they can't afford it.
And if you, no, that's called negligence. You understand?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't want to be a victim of that. And I'm telling you now, I'm telling you from somebody who does this, you need to go to your apartment complex and ask them, is there any video footage of any of these events? Not even of them breaking in or him breaking your windows, but people leaving the complex. If you saw his car leave the complex, and they said they don't got nothing.
Yeah, they don't have any cameras out here.
Let me tell you how important it is for you to make sure they get cameras. What if something really bad happened to you and they didn't have no cameras?
I stated that.
You know it would be on them because they didn't have the necessary safety and security to ensure that they could find out. So I want to make sure.
That's why I don't understand why they charging me for the windows.
That's because that's a whole nother thing that's outside of my purview. But you need to go back and you need to ask them. I've been vandalized multiple times and y'all can't tell me nothing. You can't give me no help about what's going on. The reason I'm in this apartment complex is it's supposed to be safe.
You aren't no one helping me. That's why I'm here.
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't went to everybody. I don't did all those.
They're not gonna help you either. And I'm telling you, it won't help you, ma'am, for me to issue an arrest warrant against somebody if there's no evidence, because he won't stay in jail. He won't be there. And there won't be any evidence to keep him there because I don't have enough evidence to even really put him there today. So reason I'm spending this time with you is because I do care. I am concerned, but I'm frustrated because a lot of things that should be there, other people just aren't doing their position, their job. Security footage should be there. There should be something. There should have been a video of this vehicle leaving the complex. Simple as that. And if it's not, that's problematic. But I can't skirt the process because of things that are missing. I can't do that. I can't do that. So unfortunately, I've got to dismiss it. But what I'm telling you is follow back up with the officers. You've got a lot of different allegations here. This shouldn't be something that just gets swept up under the rug. And you can tell them that's what the judge told you. So call these detectives back because there's no reason why you've got something happening in November, something happening in September, and nobody seems to have any evidence to confirm what this man is doing. Breaking in your apartment building and ain't got no security video. That's crazy.
I did all that. That's why they give me to run around. Like I did everything in my power. They basically saying the same thing you saying. So
I will tell you if it's happening at your apartment, you're not the only one.
And the police, they don't do them, just write police report. They say they can't go any further. Their job is just to write.
I'm going to tell you this last thing before I let you go. Listen. Call the police and ask them to tell them to request any security footage at this particular apartment complex. So they may be lying to you. They do that sometimes. Tell the police to call and ask them for any security footage. And ask them why there aren't any security footage at this premises. Tell them, is this the safest apartment complex in the county? And they don't need no security video? There ain't no crimes happening on this particular premises at all? Clearly, that's a lie. Have the police go and ask them that question. Because what I don't want to have happen is this continue to happen to you. So if I can't help you now, I want to make sure that you know what to do to help you in the future so this doesn't continue to happen.
Seems like no one's helping me.
But
So
listen
it
to
is
what I'm
it is.
telling you. You're being, now you're frustrated and you're not listening. Call the detectives. Tell them that the judge told you to get the security footage that they may have or should have over at that apartment complex. This just, the one that just happened in November is almost a little bit less than a month away. Do that. Okay? And that's my initial direction to you. Because like you said, you got video. You got a camera in your home. But there should have been another party that had cameras already so that you wouldn't be going through this process. So if they don't have cameras today, if you tend on staying there, they're gonna better have cameras later on. So if I can't help you fix the situations that happened in the past, I'm gonna tell you how to fix them in the future. Make that complex better have cameras. But that's what I'm gonna tell you this evening. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to deny because I don't have sufficient probable cause. But please contact the police and contact your apartment complex because there's no reason why they ain't got no video or nothing.
Well, I gotta make them get video cameras after they stated that they didn't have any.
I'm not trying to tell you whether or not there's anything civilly liable there, but they shouldn't be operating a complex with no security cameras. I'll tell you that.
Mm-mm.
Okay? So please follow back up with the police in your complex about that. I'm going to let you go this evening, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And with that will conclude the criminal warrant application hearing.